All right, let's go ahead jumping into now game number 3 of this matchup. Hitman versus Sheik. This taking place here on Amazonia. Hitman spawning as the green orc on the top right-hand side of the map. Right-hand side of the map, excuse me. Meanwhile, Sheik is spawning as the red undead over here on the bottom left. All right, this is orc versus undead in this 1v1, and both sides, well, pretty much used to their spawning locations. They have not changed. Colors may have changed, but not much really going on here. All right, opening up, we can, well, see, now I feel like I can't, if someone is stream sniping, I can't really talk about all of the specific strategies opening up here. You can see this building being placed down, this being placed down, and this building being placed down, and notice the order of the buildings. The order of the buildings tells you what will be happening first and not happening. Actually, this reminds me of when I was casting at UCI a couple of years back, and the players were actually in the room with us. So oftentimes you couldn't talk about specific units because, like, people they were on the stage, but they weren't sitting in a booth, and they didn't have like the noise canceling drowned out headphones. So it was just really strange to try and cast that particular game, and even then, like, you'd move around the map and you'd hear a siege tank siege up, and a player would know, oh, my opponent has siege tanks now, and it was just like, oh, like, how are we even doing this? All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down. Blade Master now going to go ahead and get trained up here, going up against a Death Knight. No big surprises. I'm just going to try and talk, enjoy my cast, and not get too overwhelmed with what's really going on. All right, we are looking at Tomb of Relics. Ziggurats are being placed down, 17/20. Sheik doing actually a little bit of a delay to the tech to tier 2, going back to, well, what was his original strategy in game number 1, which he was fairly successful. Blade Master quickly sells the scroll of nobility and is now moving out to clear out the Forest Troll Berserker in the middle portion of the map, getting the necessary items, and also perhaps trying to deny experience from his opponent's Lich, who will be coming out later on. Grunt gonna go ahead and get finished off over here. Let's take a look back on the other side. Crypt Fiend gonna try and aggro some of those units, and the Death Knight just makes its way out, picking up a Sacrificial Skull, has a Rod of Necromancy, uses one charge from that graveyard to perhaps try and take down this Sasquatch creep camp from the Goblin Merchant Shop. Death Knight now making its way back. It perhaps is going to go ahead and pick up some useful items. Tech to tier 2 has already begun. Orc Burrow about halfway done there, as you can see. The extra additional blight to just try to keep all of these units alive and well. The skeletal minions are taking a little bit of damage, as you can see, but the Death Knight is also absorbing a lot of that here. You can purposely take a look at these skeletal minions. You can see how fast they regenerate while on blight. But the Blade Master is already here, ready to go. Let's take a look. Is the Death Knight going to be able to get to level 2? This is going to be a huge play here. Nope, Blade Master actually steals that bit of experience and denies that Death Knight level 2. All right, Skeletal Minion may end up actually giving the Blade Master, well, nope, a little bit of a deny once more. But finally, well, this Skeletal Minion, is it going to be able to throw itself down? No, it is not. Blade Master gets to level 2. Alright, Death Knight clears out a creep camp here. Skeletal minions are currently out onto the field. Nightcrawler going to end up getting taken down pretty quickly as well. I don't know how you can poison a skeletal minion, but somehow you can do that, as the Death Knight leaves behind a Tome of Strength. Alright, Blade Master down to 85 hit points. Very low on hit points. Has to be very careful to try and get away here. Are we going to perhaps just see a Scroll of Speed being executed here? There is another heal. And are we going to see a Death Coil? Are we going to see some damage onto that Blade Master as well to try and disrupt that healing? Blade Master down to 169 hit points. Hitman could be in trouble. He does not want to be forced to use another healing salve right there. Down to 176, but no easy way to slow down the grunts. Frost Nova is not available, as we are not yet at tier 2. All right, minimizing the losses. Hitman able to heal back up. He also has a Sobi mask, which is going to be extremely beneficial once it gets onto that Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunter, known for, well, how powerful it can be and how much it can swing battles when it has mana available to him. Blade Master going to finish off the remainder of these kobolds here, and well, I believe it will just be shy of level 3. Death Knight down on the other side. Is going to be able to get to level 3? No, it is. Well, it might actually be able to get there. Let's take a look. I believe a level 3 Kobold Tunneler does give 25 experience. There it goes. There's level 3. And now the Blade Master going after some skeletal minions for himself, perhaps to try to get to level 3 too. Necropolis nearly upgraded. Stronghold now already going into Fortress. A Shadow Hunter now getting added in as well. Grunts going after the rogues and this 3-1-1 creep camp to give that Blade Master level 3. Are we going to see a Death Coil Steel? We could see a Death Coil Steel. No, no Death Coil Steel. Just picking up the Tome of Agility and now trying to head back. There's a Quick and Snare. All right, are we going to be going after anything? Stealing that shot right there and now perhaps trying to get some damage onto some of these units. The Death Knight, however, is at level 3 and it's really not... Well, I guess he's just going to try to go after this Forest Troll Trapper as well. Troll Trapper down to 117 hit points. There it goes. There's the Windwalk Strike. Finishes off those 2 skeletal minions as the Shadow Hunter is getting a good amount of experience with the help of some grunts. This is a standard play for Orc players at this point. Orc players can normally get the Blade Master to just follow around and constantly harass the undead army, while the Shadow Hunter can sometimes even surpass that Blade Master in terms of experience. Thank you, Starry Most, for the follow, as we're looking at, well, the Stronghold about to get to tier 3, which means we should be looking at a Tauren Chieftain momentarily. Shadow Hunter already has the Sobi Mask. There's a quick Hex onto the Sasquatch, trying to minimize that damage. Blade Master not going to be helping out. Now going after all of these units instead, as the Blade Master is seeing that level 3 units need a back away. Creeps are joining in on the fight. Are they going to attack Sheik's units? Just a little bit, but not that much damage to really talk about. All right, Blade Master going to go ahead. There is Blight being thrown down. Are we looking at an Acolyte? Yes, an Acolyte is also down here. We could be looking at a tower attempt as the peons are trying to repair. Tauren Chieftain is not yet getting added in, and Sheik is going in for a Ziggurat rush. All right, Healing Wave does save that Grunt, but Grunt is low on hit points, down to 16. Looks like he will end up surviving. Blade Master trying to go after a Crypt Fiend there. Frost Armor is in time, in addition to that Death Coil, as more Ziggurats and a Tome of Relics now being thrown down. All right. A quick web. Hitman now going to be in serious trouble here. Hitman may end up losing that Wind Rider, which is a large piece of its damage. And now the Blade Master is going to be that primary damage. Orb of Lightning going to be able to remove that Frost Armor, but the slow effect already comes into play here. The Orc Burrows are simply just too far back to really be effective at taking down these Ziggurats. Blade Master down to 175 hit points, needs to back away. Shadow Hunter has a Clarity Potion. Perhaps it should be using it as the, well, Hitman just seems to be resting with this Blade Master, and Shadow Hunter going, is this really happening? Am I really getting tower rushed by an undead right now? Crypt Fiend's going to go ahead and continue that pressure here. Blade Master trying to focus down the Death Knight, but chasing after a hero that has Frost Armor is just a lesson in, futility. I am saying that word wrong, as the Blade Master, the Blade Master gets a Windwalk Strike, finishes off the Death Knight. All right, things could turn around all of a sudden without the Death Knight for those big heals. You're going to have to rely solely on that Obsidian Statue. Low hit point Grunt. Is it going to get taken down? Healing Wave, perhaps? No, not going back. Low hit point Grunt's trying to back away here as a Nerubian Tower is in play and adding in an additional Ziggurat now. Death Knight could get resurrected at the tavern. 2 low hit point Grunts away from the action. Tomb of Relics is now done as the Blade Master going after a Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend going to start, burrowing himself. There's a Dust of Appearance, but it does not reveal the Crypt Fiend. It actually reveals the Blade Master as it was cast by Sheik. Blade Master now going after the Obsidian Statue. Obsidian Statue could get taken down. There it goes as well. Shadow Hunter needs to find a way. Yes, uses a Potion of Healing as the engagement is still, going on. Demolisher is joining in on the fight, and with the Demolisher here, all of a sudden, the damage, the towers are no longer nearly as scary. All right, Nerubian Tower number 2 going to get taken down. Let's take a look at this. Blade Master is revealed with a Dust of Appearance again. Death Coil from the Death Knight. Death Knight able to heal up a little bit more as the Nerubian Tower should get taken down. Lich could be in trouble. A Death possible movement saves again, and, or perhaps a potion of healing followed by a Death Coil, as the Death Knight just landed a Death Coil there. All right, there is a quick Hex once more. Is the Death Knight going to be able to finish its target? Healing Wave coming back across. Kodo Beast is, well, currently digesting a target, as the Crypt Fiends could get taken down. No, only the Kodo Beast with that Crypt Fiend in the belly is going to be left behind. Still, a Ziggurat is in play. 35, supply over 50 compared to 39. Hitman able to put enough pressure onto the Death Knight, get him taken out, and then, well, pretty much halt this tower attempt. All right. Demolisher going to finish off another Ziggurat here. 2 Ziggurats lost, as we're now unsummoning the Altar of Darkness. All right, unsummoning the Altar of Darkness is a big head-scratcher move here. Normally, you do not do that unless you're going to be attempting some sort of all-in attack here in just a moment. That has to be absolutely scary, as that's normally not the case. We are at Halls of the Dead. We are not going in the Black Citadel. There is no Orb of Corruption either, as, well, the Death Knight once again moving out across the map. Hitman, if he can hold whatever Sheik is trying to do here in the next 3 to 5 minutes, should end up taking the game, as we are looking at Hitman here ready to go. Hitman sitting at level 3 on the Blade Master. Shadowhunter is also sitting at level 3. Up a little bit of extra damage, trying to offset anything. Healing salved to, well, get a little bit more healing ready to go. Death Knight has the Frost Armor. And what is going to end up going down here? Frost Armor right there. Extra damage. Kodo Beast is still digesting a Crypt Fiend. Lich could be in trouble. And there is the GG. A beautiful hold by Hitman, even though a tower went up. Taking a look at the final score, Hitman able to come back from the 1-0 deficit to take it 2-1. Beautifully done, beautifully played.